Welcome to Speck of Dust, music channel, moving through time to the 2000s. Here come the Relics. Take it away, Chris.
Okay, I've got Yob's Elaborations of Carbon from 2002. This was the debut record from these Eugene, Oregon mystical doom band. This band announced Yob as, I don't know, one of the heaviest and most original metal bands of this century, I would say. And they arrived pretty much already, perfectly formed, as is the typical Yob template. These are pretty long songs, often, sort of unusual chord changes from guitarist Mike Scheidt. These tend to be pretty crushing songs typically. There's a lot of dynamics. His vocals run the gamut from, sort of Geddy Lee-esque wails to death growls to a kind of whisper almost. They go on to make a lot of great records, getting a little more avant and, sprinkling in some softer songs along the way. But this one is right up there with their best. And I've got Inepsy's Rock and Roll Babylon from 2002. So these guys were a Québécois metal punk band, I guess you could say. Think of like a combo of Motorhead, GBH, Venom, Discharge, that kind of. And they are most often associated with the sort of subgenre of motorpunk, punk informed by Motorhead. They didn't invent this genre, but they were probably the best at it. So you've got D-beat drumming as a foundation, catchy riffing, hoarse French Canadian accented lyrics. Lemmy of Motorhead used to always say that, people would call Motorhead a metal band. He would say, no, 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 we're just a rock and roll band. And that's kind of how Inepsy roll as well. Whatever you want to call it, like at bottom, this shit rocks.
I have two records from people who have IQs really in excess of the sort of rock profession, I think, and are therefore condemned to professional failure. First one, Bobbi Conn, uh, The Golden Age. This is his second album from 2001. He kind of came out of an art rock noise cabaret scene in Chicago in the 1990s. Here, though, he trades it for a smooth and sculpted sound where everything sounds like it should be deceptively radio friendly until you actually start paying a bit of attention and discordance and weird lyrical content come creeping out. Right. There's two big lyrical centers of gravity here. One is success, a la Tom Cruise and Scientology, and the other is completely awkward and failed adolescent sexuality. So there's sort of anti-love songs on here that are both miserable adolescence and a life spent on manicured golf courses. Ian Svenonius of The Makeup, and before that, Nation of Ulysses, goes sort of a minimalist funk, soul, and country with Chain and the Gang. Down with Liberty, Up with Chains. Yeah, it's very stripped down, tongue in cheek, to the point where you can't really see always what side our hero is on. Take one example. There's the song Reparations, where he asks for reparations from the government, from schools, from various corporations, and then ultimately from you, the listener. This is protest music that is kind of shoots itself in the foot knowingly, engages in more self-satire than direct attack. Yeah, this is stripped down and sparse and self-destructive, and I can't get enough of it. Number two.
Well, I have Panda Bear, Person Pitch from 2007. This is a double record. You can see sort of a chaotic hot tub scene there. This guy was the drummer, is the drummer for Animal Collective, but this is more like breaking the indie conventions instead of creating them like the Animal Collective did. Um, but it's also got sensibilities of Brian Wilson in the melodic aspects. It's stripped down and abstracted musical forms, but filtered through that melodicism from Brian Wilson. It's got lots of samples, loops, it's layered and intricate, memorable melodies. It's almost that he went out of his way to make these melodies indelible. And it's all delivered in a choral aspect with great dynamics. It's a kind of symphonic indie in a way. It's got an exalted tone, and the long songs are sort of entropic and they deconstruct at the end, which is sort of interesting. It's an anomaly amongst the indie buildup and sounds fresh today. And you can see it's sort of got postmodern typography and pictorial aspects like performance or something, but generally over the top. I also have The Kings of Convenience, Quiet is the New Loud from 2000. These two guys you see there are Norwegian, and this is sort of an anti-grunge metal record. It's got intimate communications and standard love and lost songs, but primarily acoustic, very refined compositions. It's almost as if Simon and Garfunkel moved away from the city to a cooler climate and wrote in a log cabin. It's got a touch of samba, but the instrumentation is mostly cellos, brass, acoustic guitar interplay, and sometimes drums and bass. Lots of vocal harmonies and pristine melodies. It's pithy, and it's like an eternal Sunday morning, an honest excursion to a remote mossy forest. There we go. There's the mossy forest.
Hey, Sunday morning. It's just something or other wasted flossom of 1,000 years of being strung out.
So Bobbi Conn has come back to haunt us.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
He's the one who did like the thing about developing a rock.
Yeah.
Was-
Yeah. He's a visionary. Let me tell you. He's just the concepts. They're just too far above the crowd. You know. Chain in the Gang.
Up with chains.
No, this has judicious use of the fuzz guitar every now and then. Very sort of call and response. Sounds of the Chain Gang, you know?
Well,
Yeah, I mean, just, mix Discharge with Motorhead and you get Inepsy. 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 Yeah, it's like a skeleton with, like, with like GBH spiked hair and a bullet belts,
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I didn't see that the figure was a
In
skeleton.
an apocalyptic, wrote a lot of songs, that sort of like punk rock, Mad Max kind of topics.
Panda Bear was dressed like a panda bear, and he had like shoe polish over his eye. And of course, he was just the drummer in that very early Animal Collective.
That's good. Yeah, I gotta get more records.
Ooh.